Welcome to Lakeshore Sports Center. This is Matt Gajtka. This is Cougar Puck Radio. Late start here. We're down inside 6 minutes to play in the first period. No score between your Catholic Central Cougars and the Mona Shores Sailors. We're on the outskirts of Muskegon as Zach Westrick picks up this puck. Westrick with a shot. That's deflected over the bar. Save made by Hearns. On the great chance for Westrick. So Braylon Hearns, the sophomore, gets just his second appearance of the season. For Mona Shores is Trent Goheen in the goal for Catholic Central, on the goal away from us. We're up in the corner here, and thank you to the folks at Lakeshore for their hospitality. 5 o'clock start, so work obligations got in the way of me getting here on time for the drop of the puck. But, like I said, haven't missed any goals between these two powerhouse squads in different divisions in OK, as Goheen makes that save on the opportunity. Jack Reelman got that shot off. He leads this Mona Shores team with 14 goals on the season. Banked out the center. Nate Sova put it a little bit into the skates of Outwater. Now a chance for Reelman again, and he's stopped by Goheen. Another counter chance, and again it's Sova cutting inside. Knocked away from him by Isaac Habetler. And Reelman will try once more. Reelman down on his off-wing side. Deflected pass goes right on goal, and Goheen had to be strong to make a stop on that one. The Sailors have kept the puck in the offensive zone for long stretches in this first period. Here's a wrister from the right point that never got through. Bates couldn't clear. Here's Reelman again from the circle. Goheen swats it away from the side of his goal. Now Benedict right toward the front off a skate and slammed down the ice. Icing there taken by Nemesek and the Cougars gladly. They just wanted to get out of that situation, survive, and get to the bench. Well, it looks like the Wi-Fi signal is pretty strong here as well at Lakeshore, so crossing our fingers that there's no issues as far as the bandwidth is concerned. Yes, we are on the air from just outside the regional airport here in Muskegon, a couple of miles from the shores of Lake Michigan. These two squads went at it last December at Southside. Mona Shores picking up an overtime victory in that meeting. And another icing against Grand Rapids Catholic Central. The Cougars come into tonight with a record of 12-5. They're in second place in the Roo Division behind only undefeated Byron Center. The Cougars also have a 9-2 record against OK conference teams, whether they be in the Roo Division or elsewhere. Mona Shores lost 4-3 to Jenison at Griff's Georgetown this past weekend in an upset, but the Sailors still maintain a lead in the OK Bomb. They're at 10-5 right now. The Sailor squad scored a ton of goals last year, and they're up to their usual tricks this season as well. Coached by Chris Benedict, and the Cougars, of course, headed up by Mike Slobodnik. Potter gets a check in on the forward check for the Cougars, dressed in blue. Mona Shores in the white. Robinson looks back for Mona Shores. Instead, it's Noah Lebzinski scooping it up. His feet on far wing to Robinson. Bumped around. Now swung in front, and it's right at the feet of Goheen. The Sailors think they've scored, and the referee behind the net saying no goal. That was another deflected puck situation that forced Goheen to react quickly. I thought he did well, and according to the referee, either he froze it for long enough or there was some sort of goaltender interference on the play. And that might be what it is. Well, it's actually a slash called on Ethan Ring, the first penalty of this game, with 3:11 to go in the first period. Junior Ethan Ring goes to the box for Mona Shores. And Catholic Central, which went 0 for 3 on the power play in their win against Forest Hills Northern and Eastern on Saturday, gets the man advantage unit going. It's Kwiatkowski, a wrist shot from the far wing by Bates. That missed everything. Bumped down the wall. Scooped up by Habetler, and, well, there's a call behind the play now. Another penalty. And Mona Shores is about to go short by 2 men. Trent Benedict is off for a cross check. 2 penalties in 12 seconds, and the Cougars will have a long 2-minute advantage with which to work. Benedict, the leading scorer on this squad, off the ice, but for right now, the concern for Mona Shores is defending, of course. As Catholic Central has 2 defensemen out there, Shane Kwiatkowski, who handles the puck along with Braden Bates. Kwiatkowski wristed it. That was blocked on the way, now poked on goal. And Hearns melts it down as Bates just one-handed it toward the front. Thanks again to Gabe Sova, class of 22, for running the camera. And also thanks to Lynn Sova for getting us all set up, connecting us with some folks here at the arena as we go on the air on the fly. That's a first. Better than no broadcast. Now Kwiatkowski taking a look. Head and shoulders fake, fed it over to Nemesek at the left circle. From the dot, he peels back and feeds Kwiatkowski. 5-on-3 power play. Wrister off the arm of Hearns into the end boards. Zach Liebrandt couldn't clear. Cougars gum up the works, but it's off the stick of Nemesek and out to center. Ice is already getting a little choppy after the 8-minute warm-up, and majority of this first period has been played here at Lakeshore. Kwiatkowski sets up in the zone. Token pressure, so he'll circle the net. Shane Kwiatkowski fed it down low for Nolan Nemesek. 20 goals on the year, shot it off the arm of Hearns again. The Cougars trying to go high on Hearns. Nemesek, who won the game in overtime against the Bird Dogs on Saturday, takes another shot that's blocked by Liebrandt. Tried to slam it around to this near side, and then he crunched Sova with a cross check. No call. Back to Nemesek, near side. Kwiatkowski shot, score! The Cougars have a 1-0 lead on a 5-on-3 goal for Shane Kwiatkowski. His 7th goal of the year to lead all Cougars defensemen here in just his 14th game. Give Nemesek the primary assist, and the Cougars stay on the power play for 47 more seconds. The goal coming with 1:46 left in the first period. Kwiatkowski wiring that one into the goal. Great shot. And of course, with a 2-man advantage, he had plenty of time to line it up and let fly. So the Cougars' lead here on the road will be a real quality victory if they can get it this evening. 27 seconds to go on the penalty to Trent Benedict. So the Cougars are officially 1-for-1 on the power play, but they'll have to move quickly if they want to make it 2-for-2. Here's an attempted lead pass / clear, looking for Jake Nana up ahead, and this is deflected up into the screen off the stick of Trent Goheen, the Cougars netminder. Goheen's record on the year, 10-4. He's allowed 35 goals in those 15 starts. And he has 2 shutouts as well to his name. Goheen with the 10 wins. He's in the top 10 statewide, much like Nolan Nemesek is in the top 10 statewide with his 20 goals. Hard to compare across conferences, but always fun when you have a guy who's racking up the numbers like these two are. The power play is over, so make it a 1-for-2 performance here in this first period. But the Cougars force the puck in deep. Westrick pinned to the wall, and here's Nana driving it around and out. It was deflected, so no icing with 3/4 of a minute to go in the first period. To this near side, Benedict's out of the box. Fired it toward the front. That's off of Shane Kwiatkowski's stick. Kwiatkowski, the goal scorer, on the 5-on-3 to give the Cougars the lead just a moment ago. Sova might have a step here against Liebrandt, but Liebrandt did well to recover and stick check him. And now a penalty, I think, coming up against Catholic Central. Roughing is the preliminary signal with 25 seconds remaining before the intermission. Braylon Outwater heads to the box, and the Cougars will try to just survive this and get it to the locker room. Faceoff dribbles back toward the point. Benedict now rips one, and that's deflected. We had a great look at that. There was a major screen in front. I think Goheen actually flexed it away with his right arm, which of course is his catching glove. We have a pair of right-handed catching goalies in this game, in fact. Braylon Hearns as well for Muskegon Mona Shores. 19 seconds to get through for Catholic Central. Shane Kwiatkowski on his backhand. Couldn't get it by Brady Tilden on the far wing. Now Benedict playing center point. Cross-ring pass, too hard for Habetler to handle. And it's tossed out of the zone by Sova. That should do it for the first period. Catholic Central is going to carry a 1-0 lead into the intermission as you hear the buzzer from the Lakeshore Sports Center. Well, we're on the air here on Cougar Puck Radio. Shane Kwiatkowski has given your Cougars a 1-0 lead through 17 minutes of play. Back after, I'll give it about 10 minutes. We'll get this ice cleaned up and back at it for the second period. Stay with us on Cougar Puck Radio. Moments away from the face-off to start the second period. The Cougars begin the period on the penalty kill for 1 minute and 34 seconds if all goes well. Catholic Central leads at 1-0. I'm Matt Gajtka on the play-by-play. This is Cougar Puck Radio. Remember to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Those buttons right there below the screen, or below the picture on your device screen. Off the center ice draw, Ryder Mulvey reliably wins another one, and Shane Kwiatkowski gets things started on the right foot with 150-foot clear down the ice. So the Cougars are attacking the goal that's away from us. The near goal will be where Mona Shores is going to try to go to work here. And here they start now. Ethan Ring out to the line, picked off by Nate Sova, and he slings it out into the neutral zone. Filter down the boards. Ring trying to get it behind Kwiatkowski, and does. But Kwiatkowski's on it, and a tight turn, and then avoids his own teammate, Henry Holloman, and Kwiatkowski is away on a shorthanded rush. But he left the puck behind. Holloman now defending one-on-one against Robinson. Robinson dumps it into the far corner softly for Lee Brandt. Or pardon me, that's St. Martin, I should say. And there's Nemesek picking it off and finding Sova out at center ice. Nemesek trying to join the rush. It's a 2-on-2 to the front. Score! Short-handed goal. Noah Nemesek, number 21 on the air. And another shorty for the Cougars. Nemesek's team leading third goal while down a man. What a pass it was. Right to the doorstep from Nate Sova to Nemesek. And it's 2-0 Catholic Central. Couple of special teams goals on the road here so far this evening. It didn't look like much coming through the neutral zone. It appeared that Mona Shores was going to have that back door covered, but Nemesek just skated so hard right to the post. And he tapped it in behind the helpless goaltender, Braylon Hearns. Still 30 seconds to go on the penalty kill, but less than a minute in to this second period. Catholic Central's got another one. Just beautiful stuff. That's hockey right there. Habetler out by the line, harassed by Nemesek, who stays out on the ice, and he backhands this to center. So Mona Shores, I mentioned they're coming off a 4-3 loss to Jenison. They're just 1 point ahead now of Forest Hills Northern and Eastern. Here's a look, and Goheen makes a great save on the best chance of this period easily for Mona Shores on this power play. Jake Nana, he was 20 feet away looking at goal number 11 on the season, but he couldn't bury. Goheen telescoped out to gobble it up. Now just 6 seconds to go on the penalty to Braylon Outwater. As the puck is being dropped just below us in the crow's nest in the corner at Lakeshore Sports Center. Goheen hangs on to this one. Reelman tried to poke it away, but no dice. That's a good sign for the Cougars because the second period has actually been their weakest period of the season. It's the only period in which they've been outscored. Well, now they haven't because now it's 22 even. 22-4, 22 against in the second period. The first period has been spectacular for Catholic Central. They have outscored opponents 27-7 in the first. And they added to that total with the goal by Kwiatkowski late in the frame. Penalty's over. Catholic Central's killed it off. They're 1-for-1 on the PK. Benedict couldn't take this lead pass. It'll settle in behind the goal line for an icing. Reelman thought that Benedict deflected it. So did Benedict, in fact, as he looks back toward the linesperson. Braylon Hearns, the Mona Shores goalie, a record of 1-0 with an .833 save percentage. It appears he got the win in relief. Can't quite tell from the box score. But Mona Shores recently got a 7-6 win against Forest Hills Northern and Eastern, the last team the Cougars played. Or pardon me, it was Forest Hills Central. My fault on that one. That was here last Wednesday. So apparently Wednesday games are a thing here at Lakeshore for Mona Shores. Alex Sager latches onto this one. The junior defenseman makes a headman pass, but it's intercepted just outside the line by Brady Tilden and rifled in by the Sailors. One more try for Alex Pollock now. Off to Brody Potter, the sophomore. Hacking at it. Pollock pulls it free, and the Cougars are onside. He flips a shot toward the goal that Hearns doesn't have any problem with, but he decides to hold on to it for the whistle with 14:26 remaining in the second period. In that win for Mona Shores. They trailed 3-0 to Forest Hill Central. But Trent Benedict scored, well, you call it a natural hat trick if you're just looking at the Mona Shores goals. But he scored the last 3 Mona Shores goals, I'll put it that way, including in overtime with just 5 seconds left in the sudden death to win it for the Sailors. But like I mentioned, that high didn't last very long. In fact, Mona Shores has dropped 2 out of 3 for the first time all season. Berta put it right in front of the net, bouncing around. Oh, boy. Good bouncing. Would have been 3-0. As Colin Hoffer was sniffing around the cage. The Cougars co-captain and senior. Eli Habetler to the outside for Mona Shores, right in front of us. Wrap around, and it goes untouched. On the opportunity for Nico Taylor. Taylor crunched in the corner by Preston Berta, and it's given away to Outwater by St. Martin. Braylon Outwater of Catholic Central. Cougars in their traveling blues this evening. Braden Bates has plenty of room and time to find his defense partner, Berta, for the shoot-in. It's wide of the goal, but no icing. Berta got in over the red line easily. Sova, who just set up that shorthanded goal for Nolan Nemesek. Sova works hard to win that puck. Fed it off, now in front, and Nemesek tried to chop the one-timer on goal on the pass from Mulvey, but it was defended well. Nana goes cross-rink, nobody home. Sova picked it off. Now Benedict taps it to himself. The captain of Mona Shores shot it high, and Goheen stayed on his skates to snag that one with a right-handed catching glove. For a stoppage in play, just under 13 minutes to go in the second. Well, other common opponents for these two teams, they both have beaten Forest Hills Northern and Eastern. They both lost to Byron Center. They've both beaten East Grand Rapids. And they both lost to Livonia Stevenson. Stevenson actually made it a weekend sweep as they beat Mona Shores 3-0 here on December the 1st before beating the Cougars. Well, that was December the 2nd, pardon me. Then they went into Southside and beat the Cougars on that late goal, 3-2. That was a good game on the first weekend of December, that Saturday afternoon. We have another Saturday afternoon game coming up against a team from the east side of the state. Warren De La Salle makes another trip into Southside. That's coming up 2 o'clock on Saturday. I hope you can join us for the latest Cougars home game. They've had some dramatic wins there this year. Reelman goes for a skate around the net. Jack Reelman still holding on to it. Good little pass here, but too hard for Isaac Habetler to latch on to. Now Nana tapped it down the wall. Up in front of us in the corner, and Shane Kwiatkowski just got called for a penalty, and he's shaking his head. He doesn't agree. One of those where the player appeared to turn at the last moment, and not much Kwiatkowski could do after he committed to the check. Just hope it's only 2 minutes, and the referees are discussing it with 11:55 left in the second period. Catholic Central's going short, and 2 minutes are put on the board. Like I said, I hope that's it. When you have those checking from behind calls made, you worry about 5-minute majors, you worry about misconducts. Second penalty of the game against Catholic Central. And it looked like the referee held up 2 fingers for 2 minutes to Kwiatkowski. So just a run-of-the-mill 2-minute power play for Mona Shores. Westrick, Zach Westrick going forward with that draw, trying to just churn it out of the zone. Could not. But now Holloman takes and rips off the glove of Taylor and all the way down. So they're calling the penalty on Kwiatkowski. I thought I heard boarding. Nemesek trying to clear and does just nudge it out over the blue line. Zach Liebrandt on the regather for Mona Shores. In the white jerseys with the dark blue stripe across the middle horizontally. Light blue accents, dark blue pants, dark blue helmets. St. Martin was crunched. Puck comes loose to Nemesek. Hard off the partition, but it stays in. Held there by Taylor. Near side ring, one-timer, but he partially fanned on it. Went for the big slapper. Didn't get enough of the puck. Now Liebrandt wristing. Oh my, Goheen. I don't think he saw that until it was over his head and thankfully off the boards. And flipped down by Holloman and the Cougars. 52 seconds to go on the power play. A quick up for Mona Shores. Nana in the corner. Trying to feed it in front, broken up by Bates. Nana got it right back, though. One-timer goes wide of the goal from a sharp angle by Reelman. As he closed in. And Mulvey flushes it out of the zone for the Cougars. 10:30 left in the period, 33 seconds to go on the 2-minute penalty to Shane Kwiatkowski. The trailer, Habetler took the high riser off of Goheen's elbow and into the screen behind the tall glass. That was Eli Habetler. Eli is the freshman forward. Isaac Habetler is the senior defenseman who has 20 points on the season. Not bad from the blue line. The Cougars have Shane Kwiatkowski, of course, with 17 points, and he missed 3 games to start the year. Lebzinski, oh my, headhunter, but Goheen has that one as well. Another sharp glove save for Trent. Goheen made a couple of show-stopping saves in that win against the Bird Dogs on Saturday. In fact, both goaltenders were good. That was one of my favorite games I've called at the high school level. One on the deflection by Nolan Nemesek in overtime on the shot from Henry Holloman. Benedict wanted to line one up or at least fake that way. Reelman pulls it free and right over the crossbar with that wrist shot from right between the circles. Prime scoring area. Down to 3 seconds left on the power play. Benedict, Habetler. He shot it off the glass. Lebzinski flip one in behind. Now Nana maybe trying to bank it in. Bates try to defend that. Right to the front again. Lebzinski back across the grain. Reelman shot and a save by Goheen. Off the arm once more. Back to 5-on-5, but the Sailors keep the pressure on. A shot, Goheen has it. The puck came loose, and the Sailors hate the early whistle, but the Cougars love it. They're relieved, but there's a penalty called from the referee at center ice. After all that, someone's going short. 9:33 to go in the second, and the Cougars will be the team going shorthanded again. On this occasion, Preston Berta gets nabbed. So just 20 seconds after the power play ended. For Mona Shores, the Sailors get another one. Westrick slugs it back on the forehand. Kwiatkowski couldn't clear. Here's a snap pass. Bounced away from Nana. Just lifted over his stick at the last minute, and the puck rode up on the blade of Kwiatkowski so he could easily flip it high into the atmosphere and all the way down. But from this position, you really get an idea of the length of the rink. I have very rarely called games from this perspective. Nana ladling it along. Lebzinski fan on the shot as he was pressured by Holloman. And Westrick clangs it out to center ice. That's where Nemesek will finish the job. So 3 power plays for Mona Shores in the span of about 9 minutes of game time. You don't want to give these guys too many kicks at it. They've scored 63 goals on the year in 15 games. Habetler at his shot block. Kwiatkowski stick on puck expertly. Benedict takes a look. Now pivots back. He's got a man on the near point. It's Reelman. He'll dish to Nana. Back to Reelman. In his skates. Couldn't quite handle it. Mulvey trying to get there. Instead, Nana. One touch out to Benedict. To the far wing. Lebzinski. A low shot. Goheen sticks it to the glass. Mulvey handed it off inadvertently, but there's Holloman to rifle it down 200 feet. 42 seconds to go on the penalty kill. Oh, my. Hearns, the goaltender, almost handed it right to, I believe that was Nate Sova inside the line, trying to force a turnover, but the Sailors avoid that trouble. Brooks Robinson, yes, that is his name, Brooks Robinson, gives it to Nico Taylor. Someone's parents were big Baltimore Orioles fans, I suppose. And hey, not a bad guy to name your kid after, I'll say that. Ring takes this to Robinson. Couldn't quite handle the bouncing puck. Kwiatkowski picks it out of the skates of Taylor. He's got Braylon Outwater ahead for a shorthanded breakaway. Score! He wants to drive the Zamboni. Outwater connects. Another shorthanded goal for Catholic Central. All 3 goals during special team situations. 3-zip. A snapshot just over the pad of Hearns. So the Cougars have twice caught Mona Shores leaning a little bit too far toward the offensive side of the rink. And to their credit, both of those chances end up in the back of the Sailors' net. Penalty's over. Bird is out of the box after the neutral zone faceoff. Gavin Collins spun it around to this near wing. Tilden on the chip play for Mona Shores. So Goheen and company holding it down, and then Outwater depositing his 11th goal of the season and his first shorthanded. 2 shorties in this game. By my count, that's now 6 on the season for Catholic Central. 3 for Nemesek, as Goheen gobbles this one up. 1 each for Nate Sova and Zach Westrick, and now Braylon Outwater. Actually, that's 7 shorthanded goals. Shane Kwiatkowski has one too. 7 shorthanded goals here in game number 18. Yeah, that's really good. And on top of all that, the clean sheet is maintained. That's 3 for 3 on the penalty kill for the Cougs. We're at Lakeshore Sports Center outside of Muskegon. This wrister from center point was tipped very high into the screen, almost over the netting. Levzinski wanted to gun that on target. That was tipped out. Right now I'm grateful I have a long cord on this headset. I'm able to roam around the crow's nest where we're broadcasting from. This could qualify as a cardio workout. Benedict with the wrist shot. That hit a leg. Nemesek. He's not just a goal scorer. He's a big shot blocker, too. Every time I look up and someone's blocked a shot, it seems like half the time it's Nolan Nemesek. Benedict in front of the goal with that pass. Reelman had it stripped away. Nemesek got his stick in on that one, too. Yeah, he's a two-way player. Is Catholic Central's number 16. Icing against the Cougars. 6:29 left in the second period. Catholic Central's added 2 more in this period, both shorthanded. And the Cougars have scored on a power play of their own. They had a 5-on-3 goal in the first. In this game, Kwiatkowski his 7th, Nemesek his 21st, and Outwater his 11th. Braylon Outwater, who continues to be the Cougars' leading assist man, now has 25 total points on the season. Sova on the pitchfork play, couldn't get it out. Right in front of the Mona Shores bench. Goheen decides to keep it with Nana fighting for it against Holloman. This rink, as you see in front of you, the home of the Sailors, also Grand Haven, the Buccaneers, calls it home. Just down the road, just down US Route 31. We're right where the 2 main thoroughfares come together, I-96 and US 31. Like I mentioned, adjacent to the airport on Airline Road, in fact. Nemesek had his stick lifted, so the Cougars have to try to dump it in again, and they will, with Mulvey pumping it right on goal, in fact. A lot of times that's the most effective dump in because it throws everything out of rhythm for the defending team. Holloman couldn't take the bouncing puck. Again, the ice getting noticeably choppy in the latter third of the period. Glove down by Reelman. You can tell he's an explosive athlete. Reelman to the outside, but Kwiatkowski shut that down. Benedict pried it free. Hits Reelman. Shot it blocked. Holloman got in the way of that in the slot. This top line for Mona Shores, that close to generating a goal. And again, Goheen slows things down and in fact stops the music with Ethan Ring pulling a drive by. Hannah, Reelman, and Benedict, they get buzzing in the offensive zone. They can make some dangerous things happen. Now Brooks Robinson to take the face-off for Mona Shores against Alex Pollock of Catholic Central. And Sager wrenches it behind the goal. Draws in a couple of defenders, then played it to the open wing. That's where Goheen has it. Luke Goheen, that is, the freshman forward. Pass from Henry Kwiatkowski goes between the legs of Pollock, but not far enough for an icing. Retrieved there by Lee Brandt of Mona Shores. He goes D to D, and now right back to Andrew Grimm. Gets his first touch of the puck since we've been on the air. Henry Kwiatkowski, younger brother of Shane. Henry gets it right back on the one touch from Sager. He knocked it up the wall. But it's picked off by Isaac Habetler, who clears it in. Right back out by Sager and Goheen. And Liebrandt has to handle with 4.5 left in the second. This is Matt Gajtka. You're watching Cougar Puck Radio. On the road. Always love when we can get to these games. Did not get a chance to get to the east side of the state for that Midland Dow Heritage game, as now Ring will try to put it in front after the missed one-timer from Robinson, and Goheen knocked the net off, and then Henry Kwiatkowski takes down Ring, and Ring's a little bit frustrated after the scoring chance goes by the boards, and Robinson bends over in frustration. He had an opportunity there, but couldn't find the open part of the net. 4:12 left before the break. Zach Wester gets the assignment at the dot against Nico Taylor. Wester with a clean win. Berta unable to get it out at the point. Kept there by Gavin Collins, sophomore D. For the guys in white, the Mona Shores Sailors. It's the one and only regular season meeting between these two teams this year. Taylor strongly maneuvering toward the middle, but finally had his stick lifted and the puck taken away. On the dump in, Braden Bates, sophomore defenseman for the Cougars. Up the wall, chopped out by Outwater, the most recent goal scorer in this game. Outwater gets it and had to hold up, couldn't touch it in the offensive zone, or else it would have been whistled down on the offside. So Mona Shores gets a free exit. Eli Habetler on the wrist in. Gavorkian couldn't take that slam around the wall by Berta. Right to the front of the net. Habetler overskated. His stick was tied up. St. Martin takes it out to the point to Collins. Floating shot. St. Martin couldn't get there in time. Berta batters him into the wall. The puck's right there on the kick plate. Taken by Habetler. Got it right back. Habetler knocked down. Another penalty. A fourth consecutive penalty against Catholic Central, and this one for a trip with 3:04 to play in the second period. Eli Habetler made that happen for Mona Shores, just kept on grinding and eventually drew the call against Catholic Central's Braden Bates. So the Cougars penalty kill gets a chance once again to keep its thus far success going. Nana, though, loose to the front, but Holloman poked it away and cleared it past Habetler. Well, can the Cougars now look for that hat trick of shorthanded goals in this period? That's definitely a secondary concern, but one keeping your mind on. Reelman stops in the corner. Hits Isaac Habetler. Benedict, wristing. Goheen saw it all the way. No problem. Pouncing on top of that. 2:41 to play in the second period. Catholic Central so far putting the lid on Mona Shores in its explosive offense. Reelman's got 14 goals, Benedict 13, Jake Nana 10. So that entire top line is in double digits. But it's Sova. Oh my, he had Mulvey joining the rush. And is that offside? I believe it is. I can hear Chris Benedict, the head coach of Mona Shores, pleading his case to the referee. Chris Benedict, an old co-worker of mine at the Muskegon Lumberjacks in the front office about 10 years ago. He was one of our sales reps. I was the media relations director and broadcaster. It's fun to see him behind the bench. His son, Trent, who has the puck right now, was just a wee tyke when I first knew him. Lebzinski closing for a chance on the forehand. Goheen again. Looking big in net. 2:15 to go in the period. 1:08 left on the power play. Benedict harassed by Shane Kwiatkowski. A little ambush there. Forces the turnover. Nate Sova parading in on left wing. He's got Mulvey going to the front of the net. Behind the back pass. So just behind Mulvey. His classmate and oft partner on the ice. Those two work extremely well together. Saw it last game when they generated a goal. Reelman fed it around the kick plate, up to Benedict. Now Isaac Habetler, or pardon me, that was Lebzinski, excuse me. Coming off the far wall, Reelman. Isaac Habetler Lebczynski shot, loose puck. Goin pokes it out to the low slot, and Ryder Mulvey escorts it to safety. Could not clear, but it's given right back to Holloman, and he'll shoot down, at least into the neutral zone, with just 20 seconds remaining on the penalty to Braden Bates. 1:23 left in the period. Sova on the takeaway, and he's out of gas. He simply finesses the puck in behind the goal and heads off for a line change. Final 8 seconds of the power play. Mona Shore is about to be 0 for 4. And the majority of that power play time coming here in the second period. Shot around with 1 minute left in the frame. Nico Taylor kicked it behind the net. Matthew St. Martin tried to turn it back to the far wing, and said Berta is on the spot. And Outwater won the board battle to click it out to the neutral zone. Goheen stops this dump in behind his net, 45 seconds left. Hard rim out by Henry Kwiatkowski. That was deflected, no icing. And Outwater steals it. Nemesek, a one-touch shot, went in behind the goal with now a half minute to go in the frame. Nemesek, a backhand toward the net. That's a pad save by Braylon Hearns to the front of the goal. Up for grabs. Nemesek again with 20 seconds. To Westrick. Wanted to go back to Nemesek in the right circle, but intercepted. Nico Taylor on the shoot-in. He's out of steam himself, so he'll head off with 10 seconds remaining. Tilden off a deflected pass, ended up out to the point, shot toward the goal, and blocked there by Henry Kwiatkowski. Forced it out to the blue line, and that's it for the second period as he got in the way of that shot from Nathan McNarland. 2 more goals for the Cougars in that second period, both shorthanded. Nemesek and Outwater. And Catholic Central's 1 period away from an impressive victory on the road. Still plenty of business to take care of, though, in period number 3. Back in a few moments on Cougar Puck Radio. Stay with us. Yeah. Ready for the start of period number 3. We start 5-on-5 with Catholic Central ahead 3-0 here at Lakeshore Sports Center. I'm Matt Gajtka. This is Cougar Puck Radio. Thank you again for joining us. The puck's worked in behind the goal. The Cougars now attacking the net down to our right as Henry Kwiatkowski circles. The defenseman getting in deep, lifting it out to the point. That's where Sager will try to go back to Kwiatkowski. Now Sova gets involved here, trying to pry that one loose. McNarland getting a stick in for Mona Shores, and here come the Sailors. Matthew St. Martin out to center ice. Dumped it off the stick of Henry Kwiatkowski. 40 seconds into this third period. Catholic Central glides it over to the far wing, and that's offside as Jack Reelman skated it into the offensive zone before his teammates cleared. Sorry about the technical problems there as we get the score bug set up before the third period, or try to. So I continue to work on that. You see the play to our right. Another penalty against the Cougars. Their 5th in a row in the course of this game. And while the penalty kill has been outstanding, you don't want to keep testing this Mona Shores power play. So the 0 for 4 advantage unit for the Sailors goes back out there, and they win this faceoff off the scramble. Isaac Habetler to Benedict. Now Lepsinski, a low drive, and a glove save by Goheen. Couldn't handle the rebound, but it didn't matter as Kwiatkowski tossed that one up in the direction of the rafters. On the clearance, Shane Kwiatkowski has a goal and an assist today. So does Nolan Nemesek. Also scoring Braylon Outwater, and Nate Sova has a primary assist. Those are your scoring stars so far for the Cougars. Going around the outside, Reelman trying to stuff, but low percentage play as the stick got in there. Benedict shooting, missed off the boards. Kwiatkowski one more time, hammers it out off the wall. Braylon Hearn stays in his net as Isaac Habetler handles for Mona Shores. Right-handed shooting defenseman. Dishes it up the right wing to Reelman. Cuts across the zone. Reelman, good look. Save made. Goheen, and he's got the rebound too. And maybe he's a little bit ginger getting up. Might have been hitting the mask. Yeah, he's checking his mask at the moment. I don't believe the first shot was a low one, but might have gotten clipped by a stick on the way through from Reelman. We're into the second minute of the power play for Mona Shores. The Sailors have been shut out here already this year, 3-0 by Livonia Stevenson. We talked about that game previously. One of the common opponents these two squads share, despite being in different divisions of the OK Conference. Mona Shores leads the Bomb by 1 point over Forest Hills Northern and Eastern, who we just saw last Saturday. On the back pedal, it's Brooks Robinson for Mona Shores. Keeps it, challenges the penalty-killing box, and takes the shot. Goheen with a kick save. Lee Brandt out high, another shot, but right into the interlocking C's on Goheen's chest. No further play. 18 seconds remaining on the penalty to Braylon Outwater. Second time Braylon's been in the box tonight. The Cougars have committed 5 consecutive minor penalties. But ironically, it's the 2 committed by Mona Shores back-to-back to give the Cougars a long 5-on-3 late in the first. That's one of the pivotal points in this game as well. Not necessarily quantity, but quality, of course. Lee Brandt shooting. That was off a body and to the end wall and cleared past Lee Brandt strongly by Preston Berta. Catholic Central's killed off all 5, and now Sova. Oh, he had a man in front. That was Mulvey, but he lost control. Nico Taylor yanked it back against the grain, looking for Robinson. The puck comes back to Robinson, but he's got to pull it out into the neutral zone. Just outside Muskegon, Michigan. Down I-96 from Grand Rapids. A couple of miles from the shores of Lake Michigan. Cougar Puck Radio's on the road. Backhanded in front by the Sailors. Swept out of danger by Sova and company. Habetler goes D to Lepsinski. Up for the redirect ahead for Brayton Conrad. But Henry Kwiatkowski on the retrieval. And a deft play to put it over the top of the forechecker and right to Nolan Nemisek. This is fired down the ice in front of us. No icing call. As the puck was deflected. Mulvey battling there with Tilden. Both Tildens, in fact, for Mona Shores in the corner with him. Hoffer wanted to go on a quick pass to Sova, but that's broken up. And Lepsinski one-touches it into neutral ice. Henry Kwiatkowski pulls it back into Cougars real estate. Fanned on the pass. Turn it over to Nathan Tilden. He shot it deep, but Henry Kwiatkowski on the retrieval. And tipped out the center by Outwater. And plays like that, get the puck out, get the puck in at the respective blue lines. That'll get you a long way when protecting a 3-0 lead like this one. Lepsinski rips it across, though. It's a good pass. And offside, though, on the chance for Jake Nana to try to pull it in and create something. 12:21 to go in the third. Our next game, our next broadcast is Saturday, 2 o'clock at Southside. Catholic Central welcomes Warren de La Salle. The Cougars are, by the way, ranked number 7 in Division III. Mona Shores was ranked for a while earlier this year, but they've fallen off the pace with a couple of losses in 3 games. They're no longer in the top 10 in the state. But make no mistake, they're still a dangerous team, even down 3-0 right now. It'll be a test for Catholic Central if they can keep the clamps down on the Sailors on their home rink. Trent Benedict latches onto this puck. Good feed, a strong one out to Lee Brandt. Soft shot toward the front. Mulvey defended that well as he fronted his man. Toward the front of the net and cracked out of danger. Right on goal, so no icing. Braylon Hearns forced to play it. Hearns making his second start of the season. Here's a look now for Reelman. Down the right wing, Reelman! And a stop by Goheen. A great one. As he held his ground on the near side post. A chance for Benedict, who swings it on goal from the left circle. Saved by Goheen again. He's just doing tremendous work as Goheen. The Cougars have defended well, but there have been a couple of opportunities where it appeared a goal was imminent. Maybe none more than that, with Reelman, the leading goal scorer for Mona Shores, charging down the right wing. But here's Sova going backdoor, trying again. That similar play to Nemisek that they connected on for a shorty last period. Not to be here. The Cougars could afford to spend some more time with the puck on their sticks at the moment. Easier said than done, though when you're protecting a lead, it's only human nature to play it safe. It's all about finding that balance. Berta's backhand pass. It's a solid one onto Luke Goheen. He flips it behind the goal line. Collins takes it for Mona Shores. Gave it away to Berta, who skated all the way down the wall into the corner to keep that one alive. High flip off a stick, and down it goes. Eli Habetler checked in the neutral zone by Alex Pollock. Strong defensive play. St. Martin left it back for Habetler again. His shot missed. Ticking down toward 10 minutes to go in regulation time. Catholic Central in search of win number 13 on the season. Both teams have lost 5 times. Catholic Central's lost just twice, though, in okay competition. They felt an undefeated Byron Center as this scrum continues on, and what a scrum it is. 5 bodies in there, 3 for the Cougars. Passes into skates of Robinson. All he could do was just kick it along. And it's taken on by Luke Goheen. On the dish to Potter. Fan on the shot. Lebzinski reverses the play. Up the left boards, but too far for Robinson to reach. Anyway, as I was saying, the Cougars' only 2 losses to okay competition to Byron Center, who's beaten everybody this year. And the opening night, a 6-4 loss to West Ottawa, a divisional opponent. Back on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Now 2 months along, Catholic Central's won 12 and they've lost 5. High shot from Henry Kwiatkowski, didn't have a chance as Westrick went down in a heap. Sager, too far for Hoffer, and it's right back to Lebzinski, but he passes to nobody up the center of the ice. Easy icing call, and 8:51 left in the third. I told you about the Cougars' success in the first period where they're outscoring opponents by 20. In the third, it's almost as good. 25 goals for and only 12 against. They've started well and they've closed well. Just that second period you got to think about, but overall in the season, outscoring opponents 66-41. It's a solid goal differential with 17 games in the books. Now working on 18. One of just a few road games left here tonight. Benedict with a fake move through the neutral zone. Dropped it back, shot Reelman. And Goheen has that one too as Reelman tried to sneak it in short side. Tugging it on the forehand. The Cougars have a couple of games away from home coming up in February, but they're in Trenton, Michigan at a showcase event February 3rd and 4th, and we know who they're going to play. It's Grosse Pointe South for the second straight year in that tournament, and also St. Edwards from the Cleveland, Ohio area. But those 2 games will be on the road, and then they'll play Kennewa Hills, the final game of the regular season. Outside of that, all the rest are at home. De La Salle this weekend, Byron Center and Sault Ste. Marie to close January, and Rockford on Friday, February the 10th. That's the last home game of the season. So 4 more chances to see your Cougars at Southside. Hope to see at least one of them. Turned over Martin, but he's put down on his backside by Holloman. Henry Holloman playing a controlled game the last several. He's toned it down just a little bit. He was taking quite a few penalties in a stretch there. He can still be an effective player without going over the line too much. And cleared again by the Cougars. Lebzinski saucers it in. This is a delayed offside. The Sailors didn't hear it, or at least one of them didn't. And so the whistle sounds. 7:14 left. No goals in this third period. Catholic Central now more than halfway into this third. Still keeping the Sailors off the sheet. right to the front, but Byrne never had to make a save. It's cleared away by Taylor, senior forward. Charging ahead, look to find the freshman Eli Habetler, but it's tapped away from his possession. Lebzinski on the shoot-around. Ethan Ring chasing for Mona Shores, as is Taylor. Bounced up the far side and out, right along the yellow kick plate. That's where games are won and lost so many times. Habetler under some pressure, yanked it back to the point. The shot from Collins blocked away to the near side wall, and out it goes again. Pushed down the rink and just wide of Hearns for an icing call. 6.5 remaining. I don't know how aggressive a coach Chris Benedict is when it comes to pulling his goaltender, but down 3, we're getting to that time where if you want to leave it all out there, you got to start thinking about it. 3 is a pretty good litmus test as far as how bad do you want to make this one interesting. 2, pretty much a no-brainer still in hockey, it appears, regardless of level. Another icing against the Cougars. Mulvey couldn't quite get to that puck before it crossed the goal line. We're coming to you from the Crow's Nest above the rink, the South Rink at Lakeshore Sports Center. Catholic Central's lone game of the season here in this facility. They didn't come here last year. They didn't play Grand Haven, and they hosted Mona Shores. Players tie up. Sova goes down, but here's Mulvey to take it. He rings it off the wall, but right to Reelman. His shot blocked. Another stick in the way for Catholic Central. Lebzinski intentionally wide, and Reelman tried to knock that out of the air. That would have been some sort of a goal if he could have done that. Try out for the baseball team if you're able to knock that one home. Shane Kwiatkowski chasing here behind the net. Once again, it's Reelman. Stopping quickly. He wanted to stuff it. Could not get the shot away. Out to the point, Lebzinski. His shot drifts toward the goal, but it's blocked in front. And gunned out by Henry Holloman, who now has to go back for this one with 5.5 remaining in the third period. Mona Shores getting into desperate times. Mulvey, what a move. And a shot, and Hearns makes the save. Maybe his only save of this period, as far as I could tell. Catholic Central's not had much of the puck in this third. Turned over, though. Sova wanted to get it through to Nemesek in front, but tapped away from him. McNarland with a dish on left wing to Ring. He's defended well. Westrick hooks up with Berta in the far corner, and he relays on to Nemesek cleanly. Nemesek got over the red line, so no icing here. Nathan McNarland retrieves, senior D-man. Hooks up with his classmate, Isaac Habetler, and here's Ring. Ring to Robinson, right back to Ring inside the blue line. 4 3/4 minutes left. Isaac Habetler faked the shot, got around Gavorkian. Poked out to the blue line and into the neutral zone by Zach Westrick, the junior centerman for Catholic Central. He's had an outstanding offensive year, and there he shows you his defensive acumen. Braden Bates, long lead pass, eventually got to Outwater on the tip, and Westrick simply dumps in and heads off for a line change. Habetler headmans it. Brady Tilden, the sophomore, played it in around behind the net. Now exactly 4 to go in the third. Not sure if you can see that scoreboard clock to the far end of the ice, so I'll keep you updated. Outwater on the flip in. The puck rolls up on edge. Another quick change for Catholic Central. The Cougars closing in on win number 13. The Sailors badly need one and in a hurry. Nathan Tilden runs into a Cougar. That's Mulvey. Now Sova, or probably that was Potter, I should say. Alex Pollock reverses the flow of the play around to Goheen, dropped it on back. Cougars can't clear. Sager unable to get it out. Sharp angle chance there from Reelman, who steps on the ice. We're going to see a lot of him, I bet. Now Benedict shooting. He can't score either. Goheen knocked that one down. Out to the blue, just barely kept in by an inch. Lee Brandt relay. Here's a look. Goheen makes the save. What an opportunity for Brayton Conrad, who is slamming his stick as he comes to the bench a couple of times. He was right between the circles, but he put it into Goheen's chest. And that might have been the last good chance for the Sailors to get back into it. I guess we'll find out. Goaltender Braylon Hearns remains in the net down to our right, so it appears he'll stay there, but this is another icing against Catholic Central. Both teams have their timeouts at their disposal. Each team gets one. You can stop the action for a minute and talk things over. Well, just as I say it, here comes Braylon Hearns. Extra man on the ice for the Sailors is Nico Taylor. Benedict fired it, and he just missed the right post. Clean faceoff win again for the Sailors. Wrister from the point by Habetler. That bounces in behind the goal and flushed out by the Cougars. A reminder, empty net for Mona Shores. Benedict back into his own zone. Habetler with a nifty little flip on to Lebzinski, but he couldn't make the play up ice. Isaac Habetler has to try again with 2.5 remaining. Habetler on the shoot-in. Got by Goheen behind his net. Nico Taylor kicks it to his stick now on the backhand. Swings it behind the goal on his forehand. 6 attackers out there for Mona Shores in the white jerseys. Benedict has it come right to him at the left circle, but he's stripped. And Nate Sova slams it down the ice for an icing as he missed the empty net. 2:02 left in the third. I wonder if we'll see a timeout called by Benedict and the Sailors. Pretty short bench for Mona Shores compared to some other teams we've seen. Cougars appear to have at least 1 or maybe 2 extra bodies available. No timeout taken. Outwater ran over his man at the line. Zach Liebrandt goes for a ride. Outwater has been penalized twice in this game. Keeps it clean there. And bounces off a Liebrandt's stick back to his own blue line. He took a swing there at Westrick, and that's going to be a penalty. Frustration takes over for Mona Shores, and that's about going to do it with 1:38 left. The first penalty against Mona Shores since late in the first period when the Cougars capitalized on a 5-on-3. Liebrandt, 2 minutes for, oh yeah, sure. We can call it interference. You can call it roughing if you want. I was leaning more toward roughing, but either way, the important thing is the referee saw it. Third power play for the Cougars. And this forces the goalie Hearns back between the pipes. No goals in this third period for either side. Well, obviously not for Mona Shores, but the Cougars scored all 3 of theirs before the midway point of this game, basically. A 5-on-3 power play goal late in the first. 2 shorthanded goals. Count them, 1, 2 in the second period. And I'm not sure what's happening now. The referee is being a stickler for a late change here. Colin Hoffer is still on the ice at the Cougars bench. He has to stay there, and now he hops off for a change. That was bizarre. Here's Kwiatkowski. Nemesek tried to drag around a man, instead it came to Shane Kwiatkowski. Habetler in the corner. Rips it off the glass. Down it goes to the Cougar line. 1:22 left. Reelman ripped it away from Kwiatkowski. Trent Benedict backhanding it to Isaac Habetler. Picked off by Ryder Mulvey. Fights through a check in the neutral zone, but lost control of the puck, and Benedict spun it out to center ice again. That's where it's knocked down by his opposite number, Shane Kwiatkowski. Probably could be your number 1 star of the night with a goal and an assist. Scored the first one, assisted on the third one. Down to the final minute of play, 55 seconds to go. On the turnover, Reelman trying to be a one-man counterattack. Could not do it as he was stick-checked. And the shoot-in from Sova ends up in the possession of Hearns, and he holds with Nemesek right there in his face. 44 seconds left. So Catholic Central on the verge of converting this, picking up its second consecutive win. They don't play Friday this week. They just play Saturday. Back at home. It's been a home-heavy schedule this year. Collins takes a look from Mona Shores. Look out, right in front of his own net, and a score! Nemesek, his second goal of the game. This one on the power play with 37 seconds left. He gets his 22nd of the year. Good eye, sniper, 4-0, Catholic Central. And Nemesek maybe just took away first star honors with his second goal. He's got 3 points. This one not as important as the first one he scored. But regardless, they all count. And this removes all doubt. The Cougars go 2 for 3 on the power play and 5 for 5 on the penalty kill, barring any further infractions here in the final 20 seconds. So off the turnover, Nemesek scores his 22nd goal of the season. Henry Kwiatkowski from the side of his net. Now burrows in behind. High flip. Ring, couldn't keep it in, and spun down the ice. This will be called. It's a perfunctory icing. No discretion allowed there on the part of the linesperson. So with 3.7 seconds showing on the clock, we'll have one more face-off, presumably, and then the Cougars can head on back east on I-96 with a big win in their back pocket. Puck is dropped, and it's barely a fight for it as time expires. Cougars win. Cougars win 4-0. A comprehensive shutdown of the Mona Shores Sailors at Lakeshore Sports Center. Thank you for watching on Cougar Puck Radio as Catholic Central hands Mona Shores its second shutout loss of the season. It's the third shutout win of the season for Catholic Central as they previously blanked Granville and Rockford. The Rockford one came on the road. This one on the road. Catholic Central now with now 4 wins away from Southside. They beat Grand Rapids Christian. They beat Rockford. And they also took care of Midland Dow before this victory. And they beat Granville, so 5 technical road wins, plus the one victory they got against Detroit Country Day up in Gaylord at the D3 Challenge. Nolan Nemesek scores twice and adds an assist. Shane Kwiatkowski with a goal and an assist, and Trent Goheen gets the shutout, his third of the season. He's been in goal for all 3 of the shutout victories for Catholic Central. He improves to 11-4 on the season. The Cougars are now 13-5 as they drop Mona Shores to 10-6. Thank you for watching this evening as we got on the air a little bit late, but you didn't miss anything that was terribly important as it turned out. Got all 4 goals on the broadcast, and we will talk to you on Saturday at 2 p.m., the Cougars host Warren De La Salle for the second straight season. They'll try to avenge last year's defeat to the Pilots. So we got the Sailors, and then we got the Pilots by sea or by air. Catholic Central going to be challenged this week, and they come through with flying colors. See what I did there in this game against Mona Shores. We'll talk to you then. God bless, have a great week, and see you soon on Cougar Puck Radio.